Hello, everyone, and thank you for joining me today. My name is Josip Hergovich, and I'm a lecturer at University North. Over the years, I've explored how technological changes can reshape society and influence our behavior, especially when it comes to making ethical decisions. This path led me to study corporate digital responsibility, CDR, a concept that looks at the ways organizations use technology responsibly and sustainably. Today, we're focusing on digital sustainability, an issue that's especially important for small and medium-sized enterprises, SMEs, in the European Union. In many ways, SMEs are the backbone of the EU economy, and how they adopt digital tools can have a big impact on everything from local communities to broader European policies. By understanding digital sustainability, we can encourage growth and innovation while also respecting the environment, data privacy, and ethical guidelines. I'm excited to share some insights on how we can balance cutting-edge technology with mindful practices that benefit both our businesses and the societies we serve. So let's dive in. Digital sustainability is all about using technology in a way that not only meets our current needs, but also preserves resources and opportunities for future generations. It's a mindset that encourages us to consider the environmental and social impacts of every digital tool or platform we use. When we talk about digital sustainability, we're really focusing on how to minimize our technological footprint while still taking advantage of all the benefits that innovation can bring. A key part of this discussion involves energy-efficient IT systems. Imagine if every server and device in our offices were optimized to run using as little power as possible. That might mean switching to more efficient hardware, making sure systems go into sleep or standby mode when they're not in use, or using virtualization to reduce the total number of physical servers you need. In many cases, simply setting up regular maintenance and updates can also help. Older, neglected devices often end up wasting more energy than you'd expect. When small and medium-sized enterprises embrace these changes, the cumulative effect across the EU can be huge, both in terms of cost savings and environmental impact. Another important angle is e-waste management. We live in a world where devices get replaced more quickly than ever, so we end up with piles of outdated phones, laptops, and other gadgets. Digital sustainability asks us to think carefully about what happens to all that hardware. One approach is to extend device life cycles by repairing or upgrading components instead of tossing an entire machine. When a device really has reached the end of its life, it's essential to recycle it through certified programs that safely extract reusable materials and handle hazardous elements properly. Doing this prevents harmful substances from ending up in landfills and encourages the reuse of valuable metals and plastics, reducing the need for brand new resources. We also need to consider the adoption of sustainable software and cloud solutions. Not all software is created equal. Some platforms are designed with efficiency in mind, meaning they use fewer server resources, while others might be massive energy hogs. By picking software that's optimized for lower power consumption, and by working with cloud providers that rely on renewable energy, we can dramatically cut back on our environmental footprint. At the same time, cloud computing itself can reduce the number of physical machines an organization needs to maintain, which is particularly beneficial for SMEs that don't always have the budget or space for large-scale data centers. So in practical terms, digital sustainability might involve a few key measures. We might start by auditing our current systems to see how much energy they're using, and then look for ways to optimize or replace the worst offenders. We can set up clear policies for upgrading and recycling old devices, and make sure we're collaborating with trustworthy e-waste management partners. When choosing new software, we can prioritize solutions that don't require unnecessary power or resources, and if we're moving operations to the cloud, we can opt for providers that demonstrate their commitment to using green energy sources. For small and medium-sized enterprises within the EU, these steps are particularly important because they contribute to broader sustainability goals set at both the national and European levels. Even small changes, when added up, can make a substantial difference across the continent. Ultimately, digital sustainability isn't just about being green. It's about finding a healthier, more responsible way to use technology that benefits our businesses, our communities, and the planet we all share. When we talk about why digital sustainability matters for small and medium-sized enterprises, we're essentially recognizing that SMEs make up the backbone of many economies, especially in the European Union. Even though each individual business might not use as many resources as a global corporation, the collective impact of thousands of SMEs is enormous. By embracing digital sustainability, these companies can not only reduce their environmental footprint, but also tap into a wealth of practical benefits, such as cost savings, improved reputation, and compliance with emerging regulations. One major advantage is that energy efficient and sustainable practices often translate into reduced operational costs. For instance, keeping software and hardware optimized helps prevent those annoying overheads that creep up when servers run around the clock or devices operate inefficiently. Many SMEs find that by swapping out old hardware for more efficient equipment or by consolidating their digital processes in the cloud, they can drastically cut electricity expenses. Choosing eco-friendly cloud providers or implementing a robust e-waste management plan doesn't just help the planet, it can also strengthen a company's bottom line. Plus, when you advertise that your business is environmentally responsible, it resonates with customers who are increasingly eco-conscious themselves. Digital sustainability also helps SMEs stay on the right side of regulations. The EU, for example, has set certain standards and goals to curb electronic waste and encourage cleaner energy use, and it's likely that these requirements will become even stricter over time. By getting ahead of the curve and adopting things like certified recycling processes or energy-saving technologies now, you're not just avoiding potential fines or reputational damage, you're positioning your business as a forward-thinking leader that can adapt quickly to new legislation. And that leads to another benefit: competitive advantage. It's easier to stand out in a crowded market when you can point to tangible efforts like refurbishing older devices, ensuring responsible disposal of outdated hardware, or optimizing server usage to reduce carbon emissions. Another reason digital sustainability is so important for SMEs is that it fosters innovation and encourages a culture of continuous improvement. You might, for example, decide to audit your entire IT setup to figure out where you're wasting energy, storage space, or resources. This exercise doesn't just help the environment, it usually leads to a more streamlined and cost-effective operation as you uncover hidden inefficiencies. You might switch to cloud services that run on renewable energy, invest in software that's designed to minimize energy use, or institute a policy that encourages employees to switch off equipment when it's not in use. All of these steps help cultivate a mindset in which every team member feels responsible for the business's environmental footprint, creating a ripple effect that can lead to smarter decision-making at every level of the organization. Ultimately, digital sustainability is about more than just meeting a social or environmental obligation. It's a forward-looking approach that benefits SMEs on multiple fronts. By reducing costs, appealing to eco-conscious customers, staying compliant with regulations, and inspiring ongoing innovation, SMEs that prioritize digital sustainability aren't just doing the right thing. They're also building resilient businesses that can thrive in a marketplace where environmental responsibility is increasingly valued by consumers, employees, and policymakers alike. And when you multiply that effect across the many SMEs operating throughout the EU, you end up with a significant positive impact that helps us move toward a more sustainable future together. Let's talk about the concrete steps involved in making digital sustainability a reality, especially for small and medium-sized enterprises. I'll walk you through a practical, straightforward process that anyone can follow, even without a specialized technical background. First, it's crucial to educate employees about sustainable practices. This goes beyond sending out a few emails or handing out pamphlets. It means hosting interactive workshops, providing online training modules, or even inviting sustainability experts to speak with your team. The more your employees understand why digital sustainability matters and how their daily actions can make a difference, the stronger your overall strategy will be. Next, you need to analyze your digital footprint and resource consumption. Essentially, this involves taking stock of the hardware, software, and energy resources your organization uses. You might start by tracking how much electricity your servers consume, the extent of your cloud usage, and the volume of electronic waste you produce each year. This data gives you a baseline for future improvements, so you know exactly where you're starting from. Once you have that information, it's time to define measurable sustainability objectives. Maybe you want to reduce your energy consumption by 20% over the next year, or you're aiming to recycle at least 80% of your outdated hardware. Whatever your goals might be, make sure they're both realistic and specific. This way, you can track your progress more accurately and keep everyone aligned. With your objectives in place, you can prioritize initiatives like energy efficiency and e-waste management. Think about where you can get the quickest or largest benefits. For instance, if you know your servers are guzzling electricity, focusing on upgrading them or moving to the cloud might be your best first move. Alternatively, if you generate a lot of electronic waste, setting up a robust recycling system might be at the top of your list. After that, it's important to optimize energy consumption in IT operations. This can involve simple steps like switching to LED lighting in server rooms, scheduling regular maintenance to keep hardware running smoothly, or consolidating servers and using virtualization to reduce the total number of physical machines. You'd be surprised at how quickly these tweaks can add up to significant energy savings. Of course, you can't talk about digital sustainability without discussing how to implement effective e-waste recycling programs. Here, you'll want to partner with certified recyclers who follow proper guidelines for disposing of hazardous materials and recovering useful components. Some organizations also donate older but still functional devices to schools or nonprofits, extending their life cycle before they end up in a recycling facility. A big piece of the puzzle is to partner with green technology providers. Not all tech suppliers are committed to sustainable practices, so it pays to do a bit of homework. Ask prospective vendors about their energy sources, carbon footprint, and recycling policies. By choosing providers that share your values, you can ensure that your entire supply chain, and not just your own operations, supports a greener future. To really make this initiative a success, you'll want to engage with stakeholders for sustainable development. That includes talking with local communities, customers, suppliers, and even your own employees. Listen to their ideas, incorporate their feedback, and keep them in the loop about your progress. This approach not only builds trust, but can also spark fresh insights you might not have considered otherwise. As you put these strategies into action, remember to use analytics to track and report on sustainability efforts. Whether it's an internal dashboard that monitors energy usage or quarterly reports outlining how much e-waste you've recycled, data is your friend. Sharing these metrics, both internally and with the public, demonstrates accountability and helps you measure whether you're hitting those goals you established early on. Finally, never forget to refine strategies based on feedback and results. Digital sustainability isn't a one-and-done project. It's an ongoing commitment that evolves over time. As technology changes and your organization grows, you may need to revisit your objectives, upgrade your policies, or adopt new innovations. The key is to stay flexible, keep learning, and continually look for better ways to reduce your environmental impact while still running a successful, dynamic business. By following these steps, educating your team, analyzing resource use, setting clear objectives, and then continuously monitoring and improving your approach, you'll be well on your way to establishing a culture of digital sustainability that benefits both your organization and the world around you. As we wrap up this discussion on digital sustainability, it's clear that embracing responsible and energy-efficient technologies isn't just about ticking boxes. It's a powerful way to protect our environment, streamline operations, and build stronger relationships with customers and communities. Whether we're adopting more efficient servers, recycling old devices, or choosing green technology partners, every step we take brings us closer to a future where our digital tools have a far smaller impact on the planet. By continuing to educate our teams, setting clear goals, and regularly measuring our progress, we can ensure that sustainability remains a core value in our organizations. Ultimately, these efforts not only benefit our businesses here and now, but also help preserve resources and opportunities for generations to come.